In Destiny 2, the Cabal have come to take everything from you. Your city, your weapons and your light. You'll lose it all. Their empire has expanded across the galaxy, conquering worlds for generations and growing to an enormous size. In battle, their advanced technology gives them an edge, but it's their rigid and unforgiving culture that makes them such a formidable force. In Destiny 1, we've seen little more than a small portion of the Cabal's army, but in Destiny 2, the full force of the Empire will be felt. So let's take a look at everything you need to know about the biggest threat in Destiny 2. When a Cabal army goes to war, they are exiled from the Empire, and they're not permitted to return until they're victorious. This means that no force is more committed and motivated to destroy their enemy than a Cabal Legion. They will fight until every last one of them is dead, and will continue to wage war for decades based upon old orders.
Do not look at me, creature.
Unless they die in battle, the Cabal will live for hundreds of years. Little is known about their home planet, but the suits their soldiers wear keep their bodies hydrated, warm, and under high pressure, leading many to believe that their home is a very large and very humid planet. The Cabal arrived in our solar system following the collapse, an ancient event that saw humanity nearly wiped out. Prior to the collapse, humans had colonised many other planets, including Mars, but now they were pushed back to the last city on Earth. As a result, when the Cabal arrived in our solar system, they encountered no resistance and established a base on Phobos, one of Mars's moons. They then moved to invade Mars, but here they ran into the Vex, and the two races would enter a war that would rage for centuries. The Cabal slowly but steadily advanced in the battle, even against the seemingly endless forces of the Vex and attacks from Earth's Guardians. This is around the time that you meet the Cabal in the first game. Because the Cabal forces were exiled, they have no choice but to continue to fight the war on Mars. However, after hundreds of years of fighting and little to show for it, some of those on Mars are beginning to show signs of exhaustion, and there is dissent brewing among the ranks. While some soldiers continued to stay loyal and obey their ancient orders, others wished to desert, such as the Broken Legion, whose leader massacred his superiors and attacked the Awoken without authorization. Because of their treason, the Cabal High Command disavowed the entire Legion, and when they lost to the Awoken, they were left to rot in their prison. However, the Broken Legion is only a minute part of the Cabal army, and while this was going on, the others were assembling a mighty force on Phobos to attack Earth. However, the assault was never launched, as during their preparations, Oryx the Taken King arrived and all but wiped them out. Their forces were devastated, but even in defeat, the Cabal saw potential, reporting that the weapons the Taken King and the Hive were using could be of use to the Cabal, in particular against the Guardians. This is an important time in the Cabal's story. They could see that their strategies were failing, but they believed they might have found a solution. The report on the potential power of the Hive's weapons was sent to Dominus Ghoul, who then ordered the Cabal to board and capture the Taken King's dreadnought by any means necessary. They used a warship as a battering ram to crash into the dreadnought and establish a beachhead from which they could try to capture the rest of the ship. However, things did not go well, and as their leaders fell, the remaining Cabal sent a distress signal to the rest of the Empire. Their forces on Mars also suffered great losses, and in general, everything was going wrong for the Cabal in our solar system. But what you must remember is that these legions are just a small scouting force of a much larger army, and with the Guardians causing them so much trouble, the rest of the Empire would have no choice but to step in and respond to the Guardians' attacks. They knew that with the Guardians' connection to their ghosts and their ability to revive, there was no chance of victory, so they had to somehow destroy the connection to the ghosts. It's indicated that they analysed the specific areas in our solar system where ghosts are unable to revive their Guardians. They also knew that the Hive have developed technology that could counter the ghosts, and the Cabal intended to capture members of the Hive leadership to gain information on this, along with other possible weapons to be used to defeat the Guardians permanently. And it looks like they were successful. The Red Legion arrives on Earth under the command of Dominus Ghoul, and they launch a surprise attack on the city. Catching the Guardians off guard, the Red Legion quickly took control of the city itself, scattered the Guardians' forces, and used the device to attack the Traveller. But Dominus Ghoul wants to do more than just destroy the Traveller and defeat the Guardians. He wishes to claim that light for himself, believing that he alone is worthy of the Guardian's powers. However, their attack on Earth was only the beginning, and they quickly began to occupy much of the solar system, taking on planets and moons previously occupied by the Vex, Hive and Fallen. The Red Legion themselves are an elite Cabal force, and the technology at their disposal goes far beyond that of the Cabal we met in the first game. Their soldiers are bred for combat, they fight faster and more aggressively than we've seen so far. Gaul himself is a formidable foe and master tactician. His attack on Earth did in minutes what other races have failed to do in centuries. Thousands of years ago, he led a military coup against the previous empire, ending his reign and exiling him before taking over as the emperor himself. In the years since, he's conquered many worlds and waged war across the galaxy. Nothing has stood in his way, and now he has his eyes set on Earth.
And your light is mine.
What do you think about the Red Legion and Gaul himself? Do you think he'll be able to corrupt the Traveller and gain access to its powers? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is James for Curse, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.